Welcome to the Nostalgia FM channel. In our new series, we'll embark on a journey back in time to explore how people lived in the past. We work diligently on each episode to make it interesting for you. So, we'd greatly appreciate your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Let us know your favorite photo from this series. We're really curious. Let's go. Welcome to the Nostalgia FM channel. In our new series, we'll embark on a journey back in time to explore how people lived in the past. We work diligently on each episode to make it interesting for you. So, we'd greatly appreciate your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Let us know your favorite photo from this series. We're really curious. Let's go.
An old-fashioned automobile crashed into a tree, 1920. Looks like this car knocked down a street lamp on a very rainy day. It's an interesting scene. A truck drives into a multi-store garage in East Cambridge. It's a driver's mismaneuvering or a navigation error that has put the truck in a difficult and unexpected position. A car went out of control and crashed through a fence on the B&A tracks near Greenwich Park, South End. Apparently, someone was late for a train. The car was traveling on the road and lost control and crashed into the fence. Fortunately, the fence kept the car from falling, preventing serious damage. The car was found on the stairs due to a possible loss of control or technical malfunction, which caused it to go off the road and get stuck on the stairs. An overturned car that flipped after crash. Car accidents and overturned cars emphasize the danger of the rapid growth of automotive industry, 1920. Prohibition-era car wreck with boxes of moonshine. This is a reflection of how the illegal alcohol business of the time took risks in transporting their goods, 1922. Antique motor vehicle wreck reflects the initial stages of car technology and safety measures. At this time, cars did not have modern safety systems, so accidents were more frequent and often led to serious consequences. In 1926, an accident from the 1930s with two cars in field. Two cars collide on a highway near a field, and the cars were seriously damaged. The drivers got out of their cars and acted according to the situation. A man who reversed out of a parking space into a station wagon. The drivers reacted by exchanging documents and calling the police to resolve the situation. A vintage street scene of a collision between three cars from the 1950s. The cars were seriously damaged as a result. The drivers fled to the scene, and several witnesses tried to help and call to the police to resolve the conflict. A car crashed into a tree in Boston in 1955. The accident may have been caused by a loss of control or other technical malfunction. People gather around the wreck of an old car, 1958. Curiosity about the car's condition gathered a bunch of passers-by after helping the driver. The scene of a vintage car accident on a highway in 1958. The devastating consequences of this accident may have been indicative of the lack of modern safety and transportation efficiency system at the time. helping a woman out of a car after an accident in 1959. The photo shows support from passers-by. This episode reflects the importance of cooperation and assistance in emergency situations, especially in the context of that time. Girl lifted from classical car turn on its side, 1959. We can see the importance of help and support in learning to drive safely. This photo emphasizes the need to educate and train new drivers to avoid such situations in the future. Modern T Ford, smash in the middle, 1922. The photo shows the vulnerability of cars of the time before the introduction of more modern safety systems. A car accident on the Charles River in Cambridge in 1933, when a car hands over a bridge, can be a dramatic incident that aroused the fascination and curiosity of others. A fireboard pulls a car out of the Fall River after it plunged into the water, killing 3 people. A group of children, having run away from home, decided to play a prank and steal a car. During their journey, the car lost control and crashed into the lawyer's car. Such a rash and truly unfortunate situation led to a tragic outcome. Chevrolet El Camino. Cups and pickup belong to the completely opposite spectrum of cars, but in the 1960s, Chevy got away with creating a hybrid of the two. Subaru brother after the El Camino gained a reputation as a classic. Subaru tried to recreate the same formula for a coupe pickup. The result of this quest was the Brat. The Isetta was the first car to reach 1955 miles per gallon in 1904. If you don't mind an extremely dangerous and illegal car, you can use it to get to work when your fuel prices are through the roof. DMC DeLorean. This thing still looks sick in 2022. Imagine coming to prom in one of these in the 1980s. The stainless steel panels, straight lines, and wedge-shaped shape of this car made it too modern for its time. Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. The SL or Super Light is one of the most popular cars of all time, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for including these classics on this list. Dimaction. Despite the fact that today this thing is called an automobile, the creator, Buckminster Fuller, refused to call that. This car was supposed to be able to carry 1,000 passengers and to be able to move by land, air, and water. Oscar Mayer Wienermobile equipped with a 6.0-liter V8 engine. This is not only a show car, it can move at a decent speed with great maneuverability. Chevy Astra 3. This demonic love child between a Batmobile and a jet plane was a product of a time when airplanes were just becoming something special, and researchers had discovered this trendy new science called aerodynamics. Citroën DC was one of two models produced by Citroën for many years. It was an era when the concept of aerodynamics was understood, but methods for determining the most efficient shape had not yet been developed. General Motors Firebird 3. If there was ever a car that was more airplane than car, this would have to be it. Firebird had a gas turbine engine, wings and tail fins, air brakes, and a fighter jet mounting joystick for steering. Stats Weightman, special number 26. What looks like 4 tires bolted to a drum was one of their best race cars. Think what the others would have looked like. The Bond bug was designed by Tom Karen for the Reliant Motor Company, which produced in between 1970 and 1974. This two-seated, three-wheelchaired car was designed as a cheap way to get around for the masses. General Motors Lee Sauber. It was 1951. The world was still recovering from the war, and General Motors came up with this monstrosity of a car, named after F-86 Le Sabre fighter jet. Alfa Romeo Disco steering wheel. Today, aerodynamics is one of the main considerations in the design of any specialized racing car. But back in the 1950s, engineers relied more on brute force and precise steering. Trojan. Trojan's huge heart might make you think there's an engine underneath. However, the unreliable four-cylinder two-stroke engine was actually placed under the seats. The Lotus Europa was very unusual when it came out in 1966. Even though it doesn't look special today, it was also quite unique in that it had a mid-engine layout. Ford Giron, even before Chevy, had this ridiculous idea of making a three-wheeled car possible. Ford tried to create one whose only two wheels. The Amphichair is remembered as the most famous not-military amphibious vehicle in history. Produced from 1961 to 1967, it had a set of propellers at the rear, and the front wheels performed the main functions of steering directly.
Thank you so much for your watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next video.